Veterans, are you interested in starting your own company, working for yourself, getting out from underneath the man, maybe starting a nonprofit, winning government contracts to use taxpayer money, and funnel that to start an Afghani Sesame Street? Well, then this video's for you.
Oh, what a stroke of luck.
Just kidding about the government contracts and Sesame Street, not going to help you out with that. But if you are new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button, hit that alert button. Helps me out and it helps other veterans see this video. The self-employment track through Veterans Readiness Employment has been one of the most requested videos throughout all of my comments and all of my direct messages. And admittedly, it has taken me some time to get this video developed, but here we are and let's get into it. Starting off in the self-employment track, it's going to start like any other track would. Your counselor is still going to need to find you entitled for Veterans Readiness and Employment. So they're still going to take you through that initial assessment, which you can find in 38 CFR 21.50. And they're going to have to determine that you have either an employment handicap or a serious employment handicap. And you can find the criteria for both of those in 38 CFR 21.51 and 38 CFR 21.52. So that's still going to be the startup, the initial phase of this self-employment track. You're still going to have to be determined entitled for Veterans Readiness and Employment. But let's say that we got that out of the way. You've been determined entitled. You have either a serious employment handicap or an employment handicap not overcome. Now you're in the program and you want to do the self-employment track. The next thing that you're going to have to go through is what's called a feasibility analysis. Now, for all intensive purposes, and essentially what this is a business plan. You are going to have to work with your Veterans Readiness and Employment counselor to develop a business plan that is seen feasible. Whether or not that's feasible will determine whether or not it's going to be approved. You can find out more about the feasibility analysis in 38 CFR 21.257 subpart F, and we'll bring that up here. The feasibility analysis of a proposed self-employment business plan. And we'll skip down to the feasibility analysis must include an analysis of the economic viability of the proposed business, a cost analysis specifying the amount and types of assistance that the VA will provide, a market analysis, availability of financing from non-VA sources. So this is an important point. The VA wants to know that you have other financing sources because they are not going to be the only financing source to start your business. That is a very important thing to keep in mind and to note that they're not just going to fund whatever you want and to any cost, and there is a cost limit, and we'll go over that in a bit. They want to know that you have other financing sources because they're not going to cover the startup for this business alone. You're going to have some other financing sources, so keep that in mind. You are going to have to maybe secure some loans or at least have evidence of other financing sources because they're not going to support the thing totally. Number 5, evidence of coordination with Small Business Administration in consideration of Section 8 of Small Business Act, the location of the site, and a training plan to operate a successful business. So a lot of this, what it comes down to is the business plan. You're going to have to go through, develop a good business plan with your VRC, and that is going to have to be seen as feasible, as something you could do within your aptitudes, interests, and skills. And if that is seen as feasible, hopefully your business plan will be approved and you'll move on to the next stages of this. Now, another really important thing that you can't miss, Billy, that we also have to talk about is the benefits and the services that you'll receive if you're going through the self-employment track. So what Veterans Readiness and Employment is going to do for you and your small business. How are they going to help you out? And we can find this in that same chapter we were just in for the feasibility. We're going to go to 38 CFR 21.257. And this is where you can find a lot of the self-employment stuff for Veterans Readiness and Employment, some of the definitions, the scope. So definitely recommend writing that down and reading through this. But we'll head down to subpart C, where it talks about the scope of self-employment benefits and services. Now, this next part here, pretty important, so make sure you got your listening cap on there, bud. So what this subpart C is going to tell us, I'm going to read through it here in a second. It's basically saying that there's two routes to this self-employment track. One route is an individual who's interested in self-employment and starting their own business. So we'll call that the interested person. And the second route is the more disabled person. So this is a person that it is their only feasible option is to start their own business because their disabilities are so severe that any other job, it's going to be more difficult for them to do or find another job than to start their own business. So we have interested persons route and the more disabled persons route, for lack of a better term. And listen close, because here's the crux of this. Which route you get approved for, which route you get put on, is going to determine the breadth of the benefits and services that you're able to receive through this self-employment track. So let's read through subpart C, and then we'll get into what those benefits and services are for the interested person and for the more disabled person. Subpart C1, the VA may provide the self-employment services listed in paragraph D of this section to program participants who are pursuing the vocational goal of self-employment. So that's going to be that interested person. Number 2, the VA may provide more extensive services listed in paragraph E of this section to individuals with the most severe service-connected disabilities who require self-employment. So this breaks it down to our two routes, our interested person and then our most severe person. So now we'll look at the benefits and services that are provided to each of these routes and why it's important to know which one of these routes you would be on, because it's going to determine the amount of benefits and services ultimately that you're going to receive. So subpart D, this is going to be for our interested persons route. So assistance for other individuals in self-employment. Subject to provisions of 21.258, the VA may provide the following assistance to any individual for whom self-employment is determined to be a suitable vocational goal. Vocational training, incidental training in the management of the business, license or other fees required for self-employment, necessary tools and supplies for the occupation, and services described in 21.252, and 21.252 is employment services. You can check it out if you want. Those are the benefits and services you will receive if you're that in the interested persons category. You're just interested in starting your own business. You got a good idea, a new widget, whatever it is, and you just want to get into your own business. Those are all the benefits that you can receive from Veterans Readiness Employment. Now, this next one is for those individuals who have the most severe disability. This is in subpart E. So special self-employment services for individuals with the most severe service-connected disabilities who require self-employment. So this is individual described in paragraph B of this section who are in self-employment program may receive the services described in paragraph D of this section. So they're entitled to all the services of the person who is interested, that interested person, and they're also entitled to assistance described in 21.214. So let's bring that one up. 38 CFR 21.214 is furnishing supplies for special programs, and self-employment is going to be subpart E. The supplies and related assistance which may be furnished subject to requirements prescribed in 21.257 and 21.258 to a veteran for whom self-employment has been approved as the occupational objective are generally limited to those necessary to begin operations. So minimum stocks of materials, inventory of saleable merchandise or goods, expendable items required for day-to-day operations, and items which are consumed on the premises. 2, essential equipment, including machinery, occupational fixtures, accessories and appliances, and other related assistance such as business licensing fees. So you don't got to be a nuke to figure out that someone who is in that most disabled individuals route has a far higher ceiling of the benefits and services that they can receive to start their small business than an individual in that interested route. I mean, in that interested route, you can get some vocational training, some essential tools, some essential equipment. But in that most disabled route, you got minimum stocks of inventories, stuff to help with day-to-day operations, machinery. There's a much larger set of benefits and services that you can receive if you are found to be in that most disabled persons. Now, what you're probably thinking, what any intelligent, smart, attractive, good-looking veteran would think is, what are the criteria for a most severely disabled person? And here's the rub. They don't tell you. There's no criteria or list of requirements listed anywhere that I can find or definition of what a most severely disabled person is. It is not a serious employment handicap, and this is an important distinction because otherwise they would say a serious employment handicap. So even if you have a serious employment handicap, you still may not be found as a most severely disabled individual. And it just leaves the question, what is a most severely disabled individual? If there's no definition to it, if there's no criteria, then that just means that determination on whether or not you are a most severely disabled individual is going to be entirely determined by your VRC, which is going to mean it's going to be incredibly ambiguous since there's no criteria in the regulation, meaning that it's probably going to be difficult to get approved for that route, and it's going to be highly determinant on your VRC and just whether they're a dickhead or a nice guy. I think the two things to take from this are the two routes. You have the interested person and the most severely disabled person, and which one of those is going to determine the amount of benefits and services you're going to get for the self-employment track. And then also, most severely disabled individual is not defined. There's two last things I want to cover about this. The first one is cost. As far as the maximum cost they will cover, I wasn't really able to find anything on this. However, if you exceed $25,000, the VREO of your region can no longer sign off on that. So if you exceed $25,000 in your startup cost, then this will have to go up the chain basically, and it's going to have to be approved by the executive director of VR&E services. And he can approve anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000. Where it goes after that and how high, I'm not sure. But you can find this information in 38 CFR 21.258. The last thing I'll cover is supplies and related assistance that Veterans Readiness and Employment has just straight up said, yeah, bud, we're not going to supply you with this. This you can find in 21.214. And it's going to be subpart F. So we'll just go to that real quick. It's going to be supplies and related assistance, which may not be furnished for self-employment. The VA may not authorize assistance for purchase of or part payment for land and buildings, making full or partial payments on leases or rentals, purchases of rental trucks, cars, and other means of transportation, and stocking a farm or animal husbandry operations. If you found this video helpful, leave a like, comment below, and good luck.